site management plan in the Milwaukee River Basin for an amount not to exceed $10,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and
Aye.
seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, that motion carries. Item 40 is resolution ordering preliminary plans and specifications together with a schedule of proposed assessments for improvements of South 56th Street from West Beloit to West Rogers Street, and then South 62nd from West Washington Street to West Greenfield Avenue.
Move to
South-
approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify
Aye.
by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 41, resolution ordering preliminary plans and specifications together with a schedule of proposed assessments for improvements of South 75th Street from West National Avenue to Dead End South and Washington Street from South 108th to South 112th by major asphalt resurfacing with miscellaneous walk repair, storm sewer relay, sanitary sewer relay.
Approve. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 43, correct? Yes. Did I skip 42? No, that's one I just read.
42, yeah.
42.
I'm on 42, right?
Yeah.
Right.
42.
I'm sorry. They all start out resolution. Resolution order preliminary plans and specifications together with a schedule of proposed assessments for improvement of West Lincoln Avenue from South 71st to South 84th and portions of intersecting streets by minor asphalt resurfacing and miscellaneous walk repair.
To
Miscellaneous,
approve.
Second.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? There is none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now 43. Resolution relative to the notice of hearing in consideration of a request for the vacation and discontinuance of a portion of public alleyway between South 74th and
Move to
South.
deny.
Second.
Okay, it's a motion to deny. It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? And I believe, is someone here that they, was someone from that street going to talk or not? Or we,
I can go check if we can find a way over here. Is there a name?
Yeah,
Quinzel.
yeah.
Quinzel? I'll go check.
Did they not want to say something, their piece?
I don't recall hearing that, I guess.
Oh,
No,
okay, I'm,
I think they did all this.
they did
stuff
already
with
through
the-
email, yeah.
The,
okay, it's been, it's a motion to deny then. Any discussion? No. Okay, so all in favor of denial signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 44, resolution authorizing the city engineer to amend an existing professional service contract with KL Engineering, Inc. for engineering consulting services related to the conversion of old series street lighting circuits to new parallel circuits with LED lighting for an amount.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, please, Alderman Stefanski.
Pete, is this the same company that we've been doing all this stuff with?
Yes.
So we're, it's, they don't
Okay,
do
thank
one
you, Nick.
consulting thing for the whole project?
Well, this is the first time we've ever done this with an outside contract. I mean, Dave's been doing internally, but we're, first time we've had an outsider do such a large area. So we didn't quite know how long it was gonna take. So it's actually just, it's taking an extra month. So their contract included like 13 weeks of inspection, and we're
Okay.
going beyond that, so.
So this is covering the overage?
Yes. So next year, we'll have a better idea how long this will take to do a whole neighborhood like this, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been ideal to figure out exactly, but we didn't know how it was gonna go.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we jump down to 45, resolution to grant a privilege for encroachment major to new owner TSG MJG Limited Liability Corporation for property located at 9418 West Schlinger Avenue, tax key number 416-9998-000. Is there anything, it was a gate, I believe.
It's a fence and some landscaping and the parking lot. It's on city property.
Okay,
it's not hurting anything,
Move
so.
approval.
Second.
Thank you, Pete. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, any discussion? I guess we just had our discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Resolution relative to accepting the sole source proposal of Crowley Construction to install pavement marking on Burnham Street as part of the Burnham Point Better Block Project for an amount not to
Move
exceed.
approval.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
That went quiet. I have a question regarding this better block improvement. Is this part of a grant that we had that
Yes,
was
a block
offered
grant
to them?
project, yes.
CDBG, the Community Development Block Grant Funds are paying for it,
Okay.
so.
Second.
So it's not coming out of taxpayer dollars?
Nope.
No, no,
Not
no.
local
Not
taxpayer.
local taxpayer dollars.
What
I-
does that,
Federal.
I'm
what
still
does it
paying federal. How
entail?
about you?
Pete?
It's,
I'm thinking about not.
it's just like last summer, we painted a lot of these bump outs.
Okay,
We're gonna do that again. We're gonna have a little bit larger planters like this. They're gonna be more strategically, more of them and more along the perimeter to provide more safety, but very similar to what we did last time, last summer, painting these bump outs on.
They will be permanent.
we're not
They'll be
having all
permanent,
the
yeah.
bump outs, so,
No,
correct?
we're gonna, wherever there was a bus stop,
Right,
like here, 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 and here, the buses were blocking traffic, which caused quite a bit of backup. So by eliminating that part of the bump out where the bus stop is, we should not have any
And calm the
traffic
traffic
problems.
down,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a great
Now,
idea.
I have one further question. These businesses that have the bump outs, because I know that that was an event that was held last year. Are they going to then apply for these special use permits where they were actually setting up in these little areas? Because
be-
that would be of concern to me. That's not an extension of their property.
They would have to, but that would be, certainly be the hope, yes,
Okay.
that they
So
would.
that's what the
Well,
intention of it is to be?
Mr. Chair, still it'd be
Yes.
better really with the way it will be set up with one lane and, whether it's 68th or east or west Burnham. I think it would be more effective for the people who has business there, really. More safe, really.
Another
More safe.
question. What's the volume of traffic that is on 60th Street?
Let's see, off the top of my head, it's about 12 to 15,000, so it's
Okay, so it's
substantial.
even more than National Avenue, because we have
Oh, yeah,
11.5
yeah.
on National.
Yeah.
on National.
That could change, as we just talked about, 60th, the ramps. If the ramps go away at 60 at Holly, they are projecting that those volumes will decline on 60th and probably increase on 70th. So yeah, nothing's forever, but it's pretty busy.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Alderman Stefanski.
is there a reason why we can't do this and we have to pay somebody else to do it?
It's pretty fancy painting, yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have the colors or the,
Just put the lines on the wall.
Yeah.
I'll go color it in.
You gotta stay in
You
the
got
line.
just
This'll be-
part-time, and you can do part.
and
I was
the
gonna say Mr. Chair, but that's me. I have a comment, Pete.
Crowley Construction Company has done a lot of these in Milwaukee, and they're very specialized. They knew exactly how to do this. Yeah, we've never done anything with all the different colors like this, so, yeah.
Is there any money with this $50,118? Is there money left over in this fund to do anything else, like a little further west?
Well, there's quite a bit of money. I mean, they're gonna refurbish that park,
The city-owned property.
yeah,
you know.
which is over here.
Yeah.
So they're gonna refurbish that park, make it into a park. I don't have the budget all off the top of my head, but yeah, there is other money.
It's
Even
over
further
about
west,
$150,000.
That was
Yeah,
Jesus
right,
sausage.
right.
$150,000.
this is all community development funds,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
If I may.
just,
just
Dave.
one concern that Public Works had and we attempted to address, but we'll just want to communicate the concern is where these planters are. Obviously, when you have those designated through the right-of-way, plowing snow, and you are going to have a buildup or accumulation of snow that's going to be frozen in that area from where it's barricaded or blocked off to the curbs. So just so you're aware of that area being not serviced.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
So that means these are gonna be out all year long?
That's the intention, that they're gonna be concrete, not, these were,
From State Fair, weren't they?
yeah.
The State Fair
And these
flowers.
probably would have rusted. These are gonna be concrete ones from Wausau Tile. We're ordering those separately. Sturdy concrete ones that should withstand the winter.
Okay. In your picture, that's, okay, so the sidewalk there, so you're gonna have all that potential area not being able to be plowed.
Right.
That's not cool.
Well, this is gonna be a bus stop, so this one's going away, but this area, yeah, it will not be
Gazelle?
plowed.
Okay, thank you.
But no one's gonna drive there either. It's gonna.
But you're gonna have people, pedestrians who are gonna walk, and they're gonna have
Well,
to come out of the sidewalk.
That's something Dave's brought up, that, yes, this handicap ramp, this property owner is gonna have to shovel much further.
Is that property owner okay with that?
Uh,
Because I know I would not be okay with that if I was a property owner having to travel out that far.
right.
That was gonna be my question, because my business is where a bump out is, and that always is an issue. And Dave and I had those discussions last year as far as what the expectations of our, DPW is as far as plowing those. But if this is something that, and I wasn't on council at the time, but I did remember hearing about this Better Block program, and it seemed like it was the consensus of the community and business owners that brought this together. So I would be more concerned that the business owners are signing off on that doesn't come back at the DPW or the city and saying that we're not offering due diligence to something that was requested, as part of making it more vibrant or more spacious.
Because
Mr. Chair,
that's a
And
lot of
who
area.
will-
Go ahead.
okay. And who
Alderman
will,
Ranky.
and who will maintain the planters?
Well, they're
Forestry
working
Department?
on no, they're working on actually getting the neighborhood or the business owners to do that.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Is that Liberty Heights, that area? That's
It
your
is.
district,
It's a little
right?
removed.
well, yeah,
It
that'd be
is.
Liberty Heights.
Because they're very
Maybe the
active, I have no
association, I
doubt,
think,
yeah, their
yeah,
association.
maybe
will
keep
pop in.
an eye to maintain the blocks clean, just as well, they've done a good job. And I'll say that the business, I'm sure, in the corners, they will clean up their corners. I don't think they will disregard the fact, if they want a business, I'm sure they're gonna keep it clean,
Do you
I
have
mean,
a neighborhood association?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see, okay.
yeah.
Sure.
So I believe it's a good thing for the area, I think it's a revival, corners, I believe years ago was a vital location or neighborhood for the, Burnham Point, and today, really the last, 10 years or more, has been decay. So to me, I think that's a hell of a good, project that we're proposing for the east portion of the city, Burnham Point. Really, to me, that's not something to look the other way. It's a beautifications. People drive it through there. I think attracts many customers for the people in that block there. I think it will be an enhancement for the neighborhood. And then by building a little kid area for family to bring the kids to the park and have a food vendors where the park is gonna be, to offer selling food. To me, it will be a vibrant proposal project for us to go through with. Really, that's.
Will they have bicycle
All the-
lanes? I don't
Yes.
see any bicycle lanes.
This is a
I'll
bicycle
get to
lane.
you. Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
bicycle, oh,
Green-
okay.
Green bicycle lanes.
All right, and so the green will follow through the whole
For
area?
For those 2 blocks or so, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Stefanski.
Okay, so is there a potential of being able to take those planters and move them onto the edge of the sidewalk by the curb during the wintertime, during plowing?
No, I wouldn't recommend that, because that's gonna confuse people. We'd like this to be the permanent traffic pattern, to get used to, being constricted like that. It's supposed to be permanent. We don't want to be moving in and out, and the paint will be on the pavement there, which would confuse people. Am I supposed to drive on that paint? You're really not supposed to drive on that paint. So this would be a permanent improvement.
And then I have one more question. Can we get all 4 businesses on that corner to sign off that they will take care of those, they're part of the walkway out that far before we do this?
Well, I can talk to planning. I think they were working with them to get volunteers to plant the planters and to shovel the walks. And
That would be nice.
But it would be, I mean, I just don't wanna have people coming and saying, well, you're not cleaning the intersections now, I can't get, handicapped person, I can't get my wheelchair through, I can't, that type of thing, that's
get lots
what
of
I'm
those
concerned about.
complaints on Highway 100.
And it would give them a sense of ownership too, like, this is our.
Mr. Chair, I totally feel that, I think, like I said before, all those businesses there, they want to take care of the outside just as well, and they have been done that, to me, that's something for themselves, I think, to help their, neighbors, people come from farther to stop by and patronize their, daily operations of business, to me, that's a good idea.
Alderman Vitale's on the committee now to get all of their approvals to shovel that. Thank you. Thank you, Alderman.
Chairman Rowe?
Yes.
With that being said, and I understand and appreciate from a business owner's perspective, that they would want that, but I would be more concerned more with the liability that the city incurs. So I don't know where we would be on legalities on that, if somebody were to injure themselves as it being a negligent space of not being
And I see Attorney Sherwin
taken care of.
walking
So
forward here.
weigh in on that, please.
There is
Issue citations on
um,
Highway 100.
snow and ice specifically, and maybe Rebecca can speak to this more because she does the claims, but snow and ice is handled differently if we're talking specifically about snow and ice, in that we have a certain period of time that it has to be cleared. We write tickets, we ended up actually having building inspections do the work, and then we bill the property owners frequently. But there's a certain strict time that we have to get that done in.
Right.
The city
24
can't be
hours.
held liable by statute unless they can prove that it sat there for 3 weeks or longer. So,
What was, you said 3 what?
3 weeks.
Weeks?
Weeks.
It'll be summer.
Mr. Chair, I thought it was 24 hours from the time the snow stops
That's
falling.
our ordinance, that you can be fined for violating the ordinance if it's not clear, but legally, our liability, we have no liability as long as it's not been sitting there for 3 weeks or more.
The distinction being, what we want to do as the city in an enforcement standpoint is, we're not going to catch it after every 24 hours. In fact, it's pretty infrequent, but we try to, and we can. And so if we do catch it, we say, hey, make sure you do it. And I think they're not trying to enforce it and jam people up. They're just saying, you got to get this done. And if it doesn't work, and then we can be sure that if it's a 24-hour period, it's getting done before 3 weeks. And if it's not, then we're going to get our crews out there and do it and bill you for that process. So there's a liability standpoint, and then there's an enforcement standpoint. The enforcement is a short period. State law gives us some protections, we'll say.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Right, thank you.
Alderman Stefanski.
So if we find that this is not working and it's not being cleaned and residents are complaining that they can't walk or they can't pull wheelchairs through it or whatever, are we able to pull this back?
It's less permanent than building it in concrete, I guess. I mean,
Like an
this-
actual bump out.
Yeah, I mean, this paint is probably gonna wear off in a couple of years.
Right.
Or a few years. So, I mean, yes, if we really don't like it, it
Well,
wouldn't be.
it's not a matter of not liking it, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't wanna have, first of all, the 4 business owners, we approve this and they put it out and then the snow builds up and they go, well, I'm not gonna clean that up. And then we've got that snow sitting there and people can't get through on the crosswalks. That's my concern.
Well,
And my other concern is a liability issue for us if somebody falls because it's not clean.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm worried about.
I would feel the same way, and that is why I posed the questions,
Yeah.
because, like I said, we moved the snow from in front of my business, but that's a very tasking job. And where are you gonna put the snow? You're not supposed to put it in the street, so you're gonna carry it over to where? So, with that being said, I think it's a great idea. I just wanted to know if DPW was working out the bugs on that, and, as I know, we had a motion to approve and a second already, so I don't have any more questions.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Vitale.
we talk about the city rules, city ordinance about the corners. I mean, you go in within our city here, many corners of people there, based on city ordinance, they're supposed to clean their corners. I mean, in many instances, a lot of people do, but there's a few of them, they don't.
Yeah, but we didn't spend $50,000 on all those other corners, Vince.
Well, that's beside, but this is an improvement for the city, not
That's my
just
point.
the east end of the city. That's something to enhance the ability to have more business, maybe a better business come around in that area, that's the only reason. It's not just, sure there's some concern about the snow, but I'm sure those people, they'd be responsible to follow through, to clean the city right away, really. I don't foresee really any problem, I'll stop there and talk to them anyway.
Okay, great, great.
So Vince is gonna go out and shovel.
He's the guy I want. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And if we can go back to item 43, I believe the Quincells are here. Unfortunately, we already voted to deny.
Well, I was sitting and not aware that I was supposed to be
Okay.
part of the public.
Well, if
works.
you want to come up and sit over there and just tell us your side. I don't know if it's
Thank
gonna-
you very much. I wasn't aware that I was supposed to attend this portion of the meeting in this room.
That's okay, welcome.
I had spoken with Martin Weigel, and I also sent you an email, correct? And I'd like to go over all the facts if that's prudent. I did present to Martin and Tracy facts regarding this partial vacation of alley. The alley is poorly laid out, doesn't allow for an existing garage possibly to be built on my property with this inside corner. And part of my facts that I'd like to present is, number one, since the replacement of National Avenue on 75th Street, they installed the pedestrian-friendly bump outs there on 75th. And many of the residents at Parkway Central Apartments use our alley as a shortcut or a thoroughfare to avoid the traffic signal on 75th Street. These residents have access to underground parking on Lapham Avenue. So these would be residents that use street parking, I understand, and don't want to head south on 75th and sit at that. And that light's about 4 or 5 minutes long, I'll grant you that. But they are turning in the alley there, and I feel that's one reason. Number two, there are 3 residents of 1601, 1613, 1615 South 74th that currently and habitually park illegally in the alley during the day, at night, with 2 tires in the alley, and this is a nuisance, and it has been for years. It causes damage to the alley, in which the city has already repaired the alley quite a bit. These are all dark repairs in the alley from people parking in the alley. So the partial vacation of alley I'm asking for is just merely this corner that I share with Ralph Michaels of Fleet Auto. Ralph is totally with me on this. So with all these alley repairs that you've already done, and there's still more that need to be done. Number 3,
How many points do you have?
10. These are facts. They're not points. They are true facts.
Oh, okay, we got to speed it up a little bit
Okay.
here.
There's residents at 1601 South 75th that have 2 children that use the alley and all the sidewalks as a virtual racetrack with a little 12-inch electric motorcycle. Elderly pedestrians have dodged out of their way. Moving on. City garbage pickup is not an issue. They've been backing down the alley to receive garbage for 16 years since I asked them in '04, because I replaced my concrete on this side of the alley, and they really didn't have any reason to be.
This is your house right there.
Yes, this is myself. They never had a reason to come through this alley anyway. So for 16 years, they've been backing down the alley. Waste Management's dumpsters sit right here. They don't use the alley anymore because they damaged this bush on my corner. They ripped the Wi-Fi TV cable off of my house. So now they just wheel the dumpsters out to the street. The existing setback of this garage is 0 inches. It's on top of the alley. If I would put a new garage here, I would like my access door to be here, and that makes it virtually impossible to put a garage door here with entry and with that garage being at 0 inches.
And this is not your property, you're speaking,
This is my property, but this garage that belongs to the apartments next door is 0 inches. So making this whole corner obsolete leaves the design of the alley poor.
So the alley doesn't have a exiting here at all, right?
There's no real reason.
No reason for it, right?
There's no real reason for any of this. There's no value to anybody except for the people that use it to park in the alley so they can come in one and out the other. If you make it a dead-end alley, they have no choice but to pull in their respective garages to turn around if this were a dead-end alley.
but that's nothing new, sir, about people parking on the approach of their properties. They're not parking in the alley, they're parking on their approaches, correct?
No, they're putting 2 tires in the alley.
Well-
And these are repairs you've repaired all of this. There's another repair right here you're not seeing. Approaches are only 5 feet wide. Cars are over 5 feet wide.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, but at that juncture, then, do you contact the West Dallas PD to have them come out and say?
We've tried that 10, 12 years ago, and they give 1 ticket and the police don't like being bothered by it. I've left notes on their car, we don't appreciate it, especially in the winter. It falls on deaf ears. Another fact would be green space. I'd be able to put approximately an 8 by 20 patch of grass right here if I were allowed to build a garage here.
But that would be for your use.
Well, green spaces is a benefit to the city. The more grass we have, the less runoff we have.
Okay.
And then, of course, increased property value for us and an increased tax base for the city.
Okay, I have a question for Dave Ashley, DPW. How do you're familiar with that alleyway, how does our crews handle that?
So refuse recycling, it's been a good amount of time, my sanitation superintendent indicated they are backing off of Lapham or on 76 into the alley because, like the resident indicated, his garage is right on the alley edge. And if we make that turn with our refuse vehicle, our recycling vehicle, we can't make that turn, and there's been multiple times that we have caused damage. So to be proactive, it's forcing us, instead of driving through that alley, we now back into it. Snow plowing is a different issue. You put an area there that causes a dead end, we're going to have to drive in, take the plow, and then plow it back out onto the street, both directions. So you drive on it, take your plow, drag it out, and then you'd have to feather it by the curb.
Well, with all due respect, sir, the city does not remove snow. It just displaces it with a V-plow. We're not removing it from the alley.
Mr. Chair, if I
Go
may.
ahead, Dave, please.
If you use a V-plow, this would cause us not to use a V-blade. It would be a flat, straight blade. A V-blade would only go to that section, potentially up to your structure, and deposit all that snow, and I don't think you would be happy with the deposit of snow there near your structure. So therefore, we would have to take a straight blade, drive up to your structure, and drag it all the way back to the street.
And of course, I'm not against the snow being there, but I understand that this isn't about me. It could be about a possible future homeowner too. That I understand.
Where are you at on your list? Because we got a lot of
I
people here waiting
understand.
for.
Those were my 10 facts.
Okay, thank you. We already moved to deny it.
I understand. Didn't realize that I was
I don't know if
supposed to be in
anybody's
here.
opinion would have changed. And this is,
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, go ahead. I was gonna ask if I could.
I was just gonna say that, we're not like picking on you for your garage or anything like, we've done this in the past. We did this to West Dallas Cheese and Sausage where we denied dead-ending their alley as well. So this is nothing new to us. It's not like we're picking on the guy who has the house on 75th Street. And it's already, it looks like, I believe all the other entities, like the city engineer and public works, kind of did not like this situation. Okay, Alderman Grisham, again, it's been already moved to be denied.
It is, so there's really no extra value I have to the conversation, so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I didn't realize the agenda was moved into this room.
Correct. Well, as our chairman said, it wouldn't change or sway where my position is on it, I can say.
So this will go on file if there's any injuries, accidents, incidences. Not that I'm gonna bring it up, but just that it's on file. Because this alley is becoming more of a nuisance, it truly is. And especially because of the pedestrian-friendly curbs and the children just using it as a racetrack. It is becoming more of a nuisance, just so you know.
Mr. Chair, with many respect, on the east end, first and second district, we do have mostly it's all alley, and the questions, talk about the children, if they're in the alley, use their bike, a couple of kids, it happens all over, really. It's not just, and people, like you said, parking one tire in the alley, it happens within my district. I have a few people even in my alley, they're abusing that, probably in the past they got a few tickets. But the fact is, we cannot base on the traffic, say the volume of some the children's or few cars. I'm sure the amount of vehicles go through the T alley there.
It's not a T,
And I
it's
mean,
just
yeah.
a right angle.
Right angle, yes. So it's not really something that you have what you call a heavily trafficking of neighbors, That's really, like I say, your idea, I think, is graciously appreciated. The fact that you would like to move the garage and have more green space, I think your idea is brilliant. That's a great idea. But to make a change like that, it could be somebody else in the future could come with the same thing like we did already, like the chairman I just mentioned about cheese and sausage here in West Dallas, the same thing, So that's why, you can't just start giving.
Well, I understand that, and this is
Giving
also,
in, and,
this is also only,
do that,
this is only
Okay, I'm
three,
gonna close- I'm
three
gonna close
houses
this
on
now.
each side of,
Yeah.
each side of
Okay,
the
we're gonna
alley.
go at item 47 now. I'm sorry, you're denied.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Item 47, resolution to approve bid of UPI Construction, Inc. for sanitary sewer relays, sanitary sewer spot relays, storm sewer relay,
To
and
approve.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay. Item 48, resolution accepting work of Will Surge Electric, Inc. for the furnishing and installation of a new standby.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 49, communication from the city engineer regarding driveway permit application at 2503 South 89th Street.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Okay, it's
To approve and place.
Approve and place on file.
Approve and place on file.
Okay, it's been moved to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Okay, moved. Any discussion?
Peter, can you bring us up to speed on
So-
this one?
We only allow, by our policy, we only allow a 20-foot driveway in a residential area, but he's asking, obviously, to accommodate his camper, to go to 30 feet. I'm saying that's probably okay because there's actually a 30-foot driveway across the street to the hospital, so it's not gonna stand out in the neighborhood, I guess. The hospital's a commercial entity on the other side, so, and there's not a lot of parking here, so.
That makes sense. It actually look much nicer too. And
Does he assume the
on
cost?
other side.
Yeah, he will pay for it. He'll
I see.
build it, he'll pay for it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. And then item 50, discussion to review and recommend action regarding Department of Public Works collection and permitted fees.
So the handout that I'm passing out to you is the one that I sent via email. I just want to brief you regarding the proposed fees that are going to go in front of yourself tonight, the common council, for a vote. not only for Public Works, but those fees for the other departments. There's two services we provide. There's collective fees that we provide, where we, as a patron, can request our services and we collect it at the curb and or alley, the type of material that they're asking us to collect. We have a variety of materials that we collect. That's under the first sheet there. Brush, household items, demolition material, concrete, and ground. In doing that, we had a varied amount of materials that we priced at 2 to 4 cubic yards, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, anything over 10. So we're trying to make that uniform. And also the increased costs, expenses that the city is incurring for these services, we now have to update that due to the labor increases, the machinery, the equipment, but also our tipping fees are also increasing. So the recommended proposes for the collection is for consolidation, for brush, household, demolition, concrete, and ground, all in one category. In doing that, we're simplifying the quantity or pricing of 1 to 4 cubic yards to $50, and then 4 to 8, $100 for us to go out, in some cases 2 employees, 2 pieces of machinery to collect this material. So it is an increase in fees. Alternatively, we do have services where the patron can contact Department of Public Works and ask for a permit and request that they can drop off either at the Morgan drop-off site or at the McGew Avenue site. In doing that, we used to, currently, brush and household was free. So individuals could drop those materials off. We would incur the expense for the distribution or removing that material and pay the tipping charge from our vendor or our contractor that would dispose of that material. There are proposed different size amounts for the variety of materials, but what we're proposing is, the big change is, now when patrons go to the municipal yard and or at the Morgan drop-off site, especially if they are dropping off household material and or brush, there will be a fee. Anything less than 1 cubic yard, it's still free. Cubic yard, 1 cubic yard is 3 feet high, 3 feet wide, 3 feet tall. So that is the big change. So we're looking at potentially, I believe, at the beginning of the year, and if it is approved, that the patrons, when they used to have those type of materials in their household and they would drive down to the municipal yard, it was free. We incur about $2,000 to get rid of household debris due to tipping fees. So we're trying to get some of that fees back to supplement the cost.
And this is, hang on.
I
I didn't mean it that way. And this is not a moneymaker either. This is like minimizing our loss, because we charge $25 a TV and we got to pay $40 to get rid of it. Okay,
That's what I was gonna say.
there's so
before,
much
yeah.
that we're losing. So this is not going to be a big moneymaker at all. And Dave had told me that there's going to be a big social media blitz, correct? Like, hey, guys, this is what it's going to be from now on, and these are the reasons why. And,
Yeah.
and there's actually people abusing that system down there too. There's, as you said, the regulars.
There's regulars that have a business of cleaning out, properties, and that's fine, but it's not fair to the other patrons as well. So we have a great communications department. We want to use their resources, Facebook, Twitter, also send out any type of materials through the newsletter that we can communicate this.
And if you think about it, how many of you really have had more than a yard of anything? Okay. All right, you two guys, get ready. Open your wallet next time you're down there,
I
okay?
was just gonna say, when I clean out my garage, I'll bring some cash.
Mr. Chair.
Alderman Stefanski.
So, the only one that on here to me is the brush, and Dave and I had a conversation earlier today, and I discussed with him the potential of long-term would the city be cheaper off getting the equipment and destroying brush themselves and using it for compost or using it for wood shavings or things like that? So that was something that was discussed, and obviously you can't give me numbers now or, when we talk, but I'm wondering if brush should be the one that we keep off of this. Because somebody is picking up brush, if they were picking up the stuff the brush gets picked up and it gets crunched, right? I mean,
It gets grinded
Yeah.
up with the yard waste, yeah. So,
I'm wondering if the brush should be kept off, but everything else be put on that, because brush is kind of like, we're cleaning up our yard for the spring or the winter or whatever.
well, yard waste is yard waste, so that is still free. So if you have the weeds, the viney type vegetation, plants, that still goes in the curb. We are still keeping the brush services where we collect the branches on your recycling week through the designated months, up to 1.5 cubic yards. That's still being kept. It's just that if you're dropping it off the Morgan dump site and or the McGill Avenue dump site, we have labor that's touching it twice, and we have to transport it from point A to point B. Even when it's delivered at Morgan drop-off site, we still have to touch it, deliver it where the contractor is to grind it.
But if we could do that ourselves, we could save money in the long
And
run,
there is
correct?
potential to do that, but it would be furthering DNR licensing, that we are a compost agency, which would go through different type of steps, looking at initial purchase pricing of grinders, and then obviously personnel to do that periodically throughout the season.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair.
I'm gonna take, because I heard Alderman
I mean,
Vitale
if you
first.
if you don't mind, Rosa,
Yes, okay.
But anyway, Dave, 116th site, we used to have actually a grinder there, a splitter, like they used to chop a lot of wood, really. But then throughout the years was something occur, I'm not gonna go through details. So it was eliminated. So that's something that you're talking about, right? All the
Yep.
person,
Yes.
yeah.
Fancy.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I have my tongue is locked up,
Are you increasing the number of yards for the homeowner to put on the curb?
No, we are not.
You're still sticking to the bathtub?
Yep.
Okay.
1.5, yep.
All right. And there is abuse at the yards. I am quite aware of that.
There's a what?
Abuse.
At the yard.
Abuse.
Oh, yeah. There's
Because,
regulars, like, they know 'em.
There are contractors I know of in the neighborhood that collect all this brush or whatever, and they take it to our yards for free
And,
to get rid of it.
correct, yep.
So this would enable them to do that, but they would have to pay a fee. Do I
Correct.
understand this correctly?
Yeah, contractors are still not accepted, but,
But how would you know?
well, and again, given the type of vehicle and or if they're at the residential property that they give, the address, we will send a periodically supervisor to verify that, they're the homeowners actually doing the work, if it's a large amount of material. Obviously, we can't check
I'm
each
sure
and
you
every
get
one.
familiar with the frequent flyers.
Okay.
All right.
So that's the direction we want to, do we need a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I guess we do.
Second.
Well, it's a discussion, right?
Yeah, motion.
Discussion, it's just-
Place on
Place on
file.
file,
Put it
yeah.
on file.
Okay.
So I'll just
So
give me
you're gonna do everything you said with the TV spots and everything, and show your picture of a cubic yard?
Right.
Okay, is there a motion to
For
adjourn?
license and health.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
For advisory?
Thank you,
All right.
gentlemen.
License and health.
I got
No, I
I got
don't
a
have
40-foot
anything
driveway to my
coordinated.
house, 40-foot wide.
License and health, your turn.
Yes. I missed an item about the downtown Pit District, which I left in my chamber, Nick, about the
Do you have a copy of
downtown
that?
Pit District. We have been doing productions. You have it, eh? Well, what a lady, see, that's what otherwise I gotta go back up there. So the License and Health Committee comes to order, so all the members are present. So first of all, I'd like to act on the new matter for introduction, item 55A as resolution declaring the West Allis Downtown Fall Crawl schedules Wednesday, November 18, 2020 as a community event. I feel
Move
that's.
to
Can you
approve.
shut the door?
Well, we
I think we
can-
have to leave it open, but we have to
Do
tell them
we?
to be quiet.
Have to
Okay,
keep it
thank you.
open.
Slightly.
Yep.
There you go.
So there was an motion, a second to approve.
I have,
You had, so.
who seconded it?
Yeah, he did. She-
I
Okay,
didn't second anything.
okay.
There was an emotion.
Got lost in what you were saying, then some,
Oh, so I'll second it.
Fall crawl,
Well,
the
yeah,
fall crawl.
okay.
downtown bid district. All in favors of the.
Aye.
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 Opposed, the aye have it.
I told the chief of police to quiet down, so.
Oh, that was him?
I'm just kidding, no.
You should know better.
Okay.
So then we move forward with the 55B, 2020 slash 2021 special instrumental music permit application number 2 for Guzzlers Sport Lounge LLC, Eric Miller's
Motion
agent.
to approve.
Second,
All in favors of the
aye.
special instrument?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The aye have it. So we take care of that part. So now we move on to item 7, which I believe already we voted on at the license held meeting at the Common Council for tonight, 7. We did vote on already, so now we move on to, let me see here, we vote all through 15, so we got
cover
some
56
people
already?
here. So
I
let's,
don't believe so.
I don't think we did this one. We didn't cover
yeah,
that one.
we
though,
vote on the,
right? That's a new.
yeah, what's,
We already
that's
voted.
new.
yeah, we
matter.
already vote on all
the
that
first meeting.
tonight at the Common
Yeah.
Council.
We already voted.
License
on
and out 56?
Yeah, up to,
56.
yeah, from,
Right.
let me see it.
I wasn't at the early
Put
meeting.
Up to 15. We vote to place on file denial 7, 8.
Right, we
Yeah,
did that.
those, we did
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we
but
did that,
this-
right? That's all taken care of.
Okay.
But 56 we have to do now.
Now we go to item 50, number 56. 2022 operator license partner sales clerk applications. Anything on that?
I don't have that with me. I didn't know that was on this agenda, actually. So I can go grab that information, or if the committee has it up on their, was there an attachment, I
Yeah,
assume?
I think I look at, I don't think there's any really,
me
any
see if I
records
can
or
grab it up.
anything, Nick.
If we can pass that one, I'll look into it and get that
I
up.
kind of look at it already. I don't think she has anything.
If we can go on to the next matter and just pass that one for a moment,
Okay.
I'll look into it.
Well, 57 already, we, just to place on file. That's a stipulation matter of complaints against Staffers LLC, Neil A. Staffix, agent DBA 8, the drunk uncle for premises located at 1902 South 68th
want
Street.
this?
So the fact is that we already,
That's the whole package.
he agree with the, or we agree with the stipulations of closure of the dates. So, so I believe our assistant city attorney will, or did already, move forward the letter to the agent, to Mr. Staffix.
I did send a letter to Mr. Stevick because I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that he was aware of communications I had with the common
Yes.
council. And so if that is approved tonight, and if it sounds like it is, I will pass that information on to the police
The police
department.
department just as well.
And Mr. Stefik to make sure he's aware that it
Keep an
was-
eye if he keep up with his,
So do we need to make a motion to approve, or it was already approved when we had our special hearing?
You approved the stipulation, I had sent along the dates just to, as an addendum, and if the committee had a problem with those dates or with the proposal, I think you could vote in the committee of the whole on how to
Okay.
we
approve
can
it.
vote on for that.
So do we not need to
Item
vote on anything with
57,
this?
yes.
It's been approved, I think, under 7, and I think the other matter is, the stipulation was approved at the last License and Health.
Yeah, we did
Right,
approve
we
it
had a
back
meeting.
then, so.
Number 58, we also did, took care of.
Yeah, that's the same, 58, it's the same, the complaints, the matter complaints against Stafford's LLC, so it's the same thing. So we vote on the council for. Then we have, item 59, substance and complaint in a matter of complaints against Z. S. Bar LLC, David Zarate, agent for the premises located on 6309 West National Avenue, DBA DS Bar, 2021, Class B, tavern license number 2256. So I believe our city, assistant city attorney, I think that,
Mr. Zarate is here. David
Yes.
Zarate, you can grab a seat up here if you want. And this goes for, I'll give a quick synopsis of the process. And I did speak with each agent before the meeting, before Common Council. So the process today is to admit or deny the allegations on the complaint. If you want to go forward to a hearing, you would deny the allegations. I might reach out to you and discuss those matters further. If you want to admit the allegations, there will not be a need for a hearing. The committee could decide what to do today, including suspension or revocation of your license, or could adjourn it out to another date altogether to kind of make that determination, or again, give us time to negotiate or resolve a matter. And so it's ultimately up to the licensee, the agent, to decide what you want to do.
so I would like to ask you, as a courtesy, are you guys deny the allegations, or,
Well, we had talked about this, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, I don't know. if
Yeah,
you
go
were-
ahead.
But what we had discussed, obviously, we're not denying that the incident occurred, but we did want to make sure that everyone was aware we've taken precautions since then, and we've been in business at the end of this month for 5 years, and this is an isolated incident. It's the only time we've ever called the police, and we only got them involved because it got a little bit out of hand for us to handle, just me and
Sure.
Dave there at the time. The individuals that participated in this aren't regulars, we've never seen them. We told friends of friends that tell them they're no longer welcome because of their behavior that evening. We've taken all kinds of precautions since then, just to ensure that nothing like that happens again. And
Thank
Just
you
for the record, you are who?
I'm a bar manager and I worked that evening. That was
Okay.
where I was tending bar.
All right.
So you guys approve the allegations, right?
Well,
Admit that it
right,
happens,
we're not,
right?
yes, yes, it did happen. We're not
happened,
going
so-
against, we read the police report, we agree with everything that's in the police report, other than, of course, what we didn't witness was things that happened.
Thank you. So now, any questions from our committee members in reference of David Zarate, the agent? Any questions in relations to?
Just to be clear, and I know as the bar manager you're speaking, I want to make sure that whatever decision comes from the licensed agent, and so is that your determination, your decision as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay. To admit the allegations that are in the complaint? Okay, very good.
So at this point, is the members feel like we should go on closed sessions to determine it? Or we can just,
And Rebecca can chime in because I'm the prosecutor, but
Yes.
You can do that tonight. I think it's noticed on the
we can do
agenda.
it the next time.
Or we can
Yes,
do it
you
during
can
another
set a
future
new
meeting.
date.
A special
special
meeting.
meeting.
I mean, I don't want
Correct.
that happens,
I wouldn't want something to be rushed today and there's a
we
chance
don't
for
wanna
them
do
to
that,
explain.
that's the bottom line,
All right.
really.
If I may, Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
This is the former Lenny's.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a troubled bar.
And it-
Yes, it
Well,
was.
It
Very
was
troubled bar.
before, right, since then.
Well, we
like
don't
I
want
said,
you to have any trouble.
Yeah,
5
I
years,
was gonna
yes,
say,
we
this is the
don't
first
have-
time we ever had a fight in a bar.
Okay.
We have a very
And
mature.
who is
happy
David
hour sort of-
Zarate?
That's-
so
And
at
I
this
had
point, we
I had
can set
cameras
up,
installed.
set
and
up a
everything.
time, a date for the license and help
Yeah.
committee.
I would like to see them
to
again.
to be here, and you guys can come just as well. yeah?
I'll work with them and I'll work with the clerk's office to
Very
pick a date and that will work and we'll get that on the calendar. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Nick.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
your time.
coming.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
So now we move forward, item 60. Sampson and complaint in a matter of complaints against Main Thoughts LLC, Tina M. Mindo, agent for the premise located on 5906 West Burnham Street, DBA TNT Sports Bar, 2021, Class B tavern license number 2478. I would like to ask you, Tina, you know why you're here?
Yes, I read this.
You read that. So, you know the allegations were served to you, the reasons, the reason.
Yes, I
So
read
can
it.
you tell us then?
Sure. There's a couple of things on here that there's indifferences with. First, I have two bars. I have one in West Dallas, and can I just pull this down a little?
Sure.
Okay. I have one in West Dallas, and I have one in Milwaukee. Both bars have managers. I have a manager at each location.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. I don't want to get too far into the weeds because this isn't the hearing, this isn't sworn testimony at this point.
That's right.
And so I think the decision for Ms. Minto is to admit or deny, and I can appreciate the,
Well, I was gonna get into, I mean,
Yeah.
give her a little chance to kind of, because I asked if she knows why she's here. So now I think we can probably stop
So,
on that.
I
then.
guess one was the hookah.
Yes.
One issue was the hookah situation. When I called and asked about the hookah situation, when I called here, they said it cannot be any tobacco products. That was absolutely not going to happen. No tobacco products is what the city of West Dallas told me. There is no tobacco, no nicotine, no nothing. It's water and like a mash. It doesn't consist of any tobacco whatsoever. They said they would look into it and get back with me. They didn't get back with me. I called again and asked again. They didn't get back with me. My manager called and asked. They didn't get back to us. So we assumed that it was okay because it is no tobacco in there. Okay? So that was a major thing of most of it. The other thing was that there was 15 people congregating at the corner after the bar closed. We do tell people to disperse. We try to get people to disperse. I've been in West Dallas for 6 years owning a bar, and I've never had problems.
So it sounds to me like she's entering a denial, and we should go ahead and set a hearing
Well,
just
that's
like
what
the
it
other
sound
one.
like. You seem like the way you come forward to us, you look like for.
Yeah, I
based on
do.
your information, you look for denial, so we
Well, I
can
do
set up
admit
a-
that we had hookah, the hookah containers, the canisters, but that was the basis that we were going on.
But
we
but
do
it'd
that.
be another issue for your establishment just as well. Other issue that concern
Right,
neighbors.
The congregation that they congregated
The
at the corner.
congregation and the, I tell you the way I know it,
Mm-hmm.
that the bar, the lights are off, and they do a lot of thing going on in the back.
I see.
Mr. Chair, if
So-
I may.
I was
Well,
not aware.
Well, that's one other issues which could be included to the future
Yeah, that
sums and
wasn't in
complaints
here.
on, based on that fact and based what happened on Burnham Street this summer, just as well.
That I had no involvement in.
Well, I mean, that's besides the point.
Okay.
So you addressed the fact, you denied all those facts, is that correct?
Not the hookah thing.
Well, the one you don't, I understand, but the rest of it, you denied it?
The congregating on the corner, yeah, there
On
were
the
people.
corner and Burnham Street just as well, the event?
No, that was not my event.
It was not your event?
Right, they even have in here whose event it was. I was one of the people, because I was a neighbor, I asked.
But you kind of sponsor that, right, in a
I
way?
know, I did not
You
sponsor
say you
it.
don't.
Mr. Chair, I think.
Well, go ahead, let's
I think that's
move
where we get to the
ahead.
point of having a hearing and discussing
Yeah, let's move
the merits of
way.
that individually. And so I think at this point, Ms. Minto, and I don't want to step on your
Nope,
toes. I just don't want you
that's
to say too much that
Sure.
you're uncomfortable with at this point.
Yes.
Sure.
So I think we should, there's portions of the complaint that you're denying,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll set that matter for a hearing and hash those out with
Sure.
testimony and whatever it would be.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
So, well, thank you for coming. So, so at this point we're not gonna act on anything tonight.
Sure.
So you're gonna be served by,
We'll work out another date for a hearing date.
for scheduling a meeting.
Okay, and then, can they send the paperwork to my house?
It's,
Or how does that
I
work?
can talk with you, but
Okay,
it's
sure.
going to be how you registered and notify the city. So we'll talk.
Sure.
Thank you for stopping in.
And then we have to go back to item 56, correct?
Yep, I'm working on getting that up still, sorry. I was-
Oh, you're all done.
So I will ask the committee to adjournment?
Nope, we have to finish 56 yet, he's looking something up.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Oh, yeah, I'm still
matter's
looking for
over.
that. I'm
No.
sorry.
We have to figure out with the clerk's office, we'll talk in the future, okay? Is your application, sure. If it's in the application, is it in your application?
My phone number?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the first one.
It's okay. You remember. We didn't get a list of them, no.
List.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We did.
You didn't get your
it's
list?
right here.
I'm looking it up right now.
You want it, it's right here.
Perfect.
That's the amended one.
I did review this, but you don't have the spreadsheet that I sent along with it on this one.
I do not know.
I might have to go get that for you, if it wasn't attached.
Yeah, otherwise we can put it on hold until the next
I'm not sure the timeline on that. I will defer to the committee. I can run upstairs and print a copy. I did send a copy to the clerk's office with a spreadsheet. I don't have it with me right now. Would you like to handle it now, and I'll take a minute to run upstairs,
I
or?
believe the council's been waiting for us
They have been.
for a while already, so I think we can postpone it
Okay,
until the next meeting, you know.
all right.
I think would be appropriate. So I need an adjournment from the committee
I
members.
move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favors?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. You know, Public Works has been one of the longest meetings that we ever had.
Advisory,
Road. Come on.
advisory come to order. Let the minutes reflect that all members are present. First on the agenda is number 61, resolution urging the Wisconsin State Legislature to enact laws allowing for timely counting of absentee ballots.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second discussion. So far, I understand we've already received 12,000 ballots. And who knows how many we're going to expect.
Madam Chair.
They have to be counted, and our city administrator has asked for us to act on this prior to Election Day.
Madam Chair.
So she is prepared. Would you like to expand any more on this?
I was just gonna,
Rebecca?
yeah, I was just gonna state that we have sent out about 13,000 absentee ballots. We have about 34,000 registered voters at this time. We have received back, I believe, about 4,000 of the absentee ballots that we sent out.
Oh, I thought it was 12,000.
And in 2 weeks, we'll be starting the in-person absentee, which we expect to have at least 2,000 or more people come for the 2-week period. So a very conservative estimate, we would have about 15,000 absentee ballots to process starting at 7 a.m. on Election Day.
Okay, thank you for that information. Alderman
So I
Stefanski?
have a question. You said we've received about 4,000 ballots, but in here it says we've received about 12,000 requests.
12,000
So
it said.
those are requests to get ballots sent to them, correct?
Right, that's about 13,000 now, yes.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thank you.
So it's been moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 62, resolution approving the 2021 calendar. Meeting dates
Move to approve.
for next year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Yeah, all of you see, we're closed on Election Day and council meetings, and then we only have one meeting in July and August and December, I
You
noticed.
feel bad or what?
It's
It
been-
doesn't sound good.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 63, resolution to create City of West Dallas policies and procedure policy.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Yes,
Alderman Road.
what is it?
Basically,
Who left? Your name, sir?
That was me.
No, I mean, I read it, maybe, well, okay, we have an attorney here that can tell us. Kale, please.
Madam Chair, the policy is created for the purpose of establishing a policy on how to handle closed session communications. So there really wasn't a formal policy in place before. It was more of a suggestion or implication that it would be whatever's discussed in closed session is to remain closed session confidential. However, this explains that anyone who's in the room at the time, who should be there, and also you can talk to someone who had the ability to be in there if you wanted to. It just sets forth the policy, but the general idea is if it's in closed session, only the people who are supposed to be in closed session are the people you should be talking to.
I don't think we have any, we had any disciplinary action ever, and this indicates disciplinary.
As an option, if
Right.
the council so chooses, yes.
I noticed that. So who decides then, the discipline?
Well, it would be administrative decision, and then there's an appeal process for the employee if it's an employee. If it's a council member, then only the council holds that ability.
Okay. All right. So did we have a motion on this?
I motion to
Yeah, we
approve.
did a
Motion,
second.
okay. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 64, resolution supporting the use of face coverings in public.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Move to place on file?
Yeah.
Move to approve.
No,
Move to
it has to be approved.
Well,
No, it
because
doesn't
there's
have to
a,
be.
Denied.
because there's a valid motion, I suggest the chair entertain debate and take a vote on that motion.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Cale?
Alderman Weisman.
Chair, I would encourage you not to place it on file. I introduced the
Oh.
resolution. I think, and the reason I introduced it was because the courts are reviewing whether Evers has the power to mandate the masks, and if they would happen to rule, or the legislature would happen to come to session and overturn the mask requirements, then we would have nothing in place. And I want to make Westellus on record as saying that we should be wearing masks. It's not an ordinance. There is not fines or anything associated with it. There is no enforcement of it. It's a resolution stating that our people, anyone in this city, should be wearing a mask when they go inside the buildings, when they're associating with other people, not their family. So I think it's important. I think anyone in this time that doesn't wear a mask in public is doing a disservice to the community. I don't care if they have personal freedoms that they feel they want to express. We have freedoms too. We have the right to remain illness-free. And I think they're not regarding, anyone that doesn't wear a mask is not having regard for their fellow man, for their co-workers, for the people they meet on the street. It's a total disregard for health issues. I think it's been proven enough that masks work, and we're having a huge explosion of cases again in the state. And where is it happening? It's happening in the college towns where kids are out partying without masks. It's happening up in the Fox Valley area where many of the restaurants have signs on the doors, masks not required. I mean, it's ridiculous the way some people are treating this. They're looking at it as a political issue. This is not a political issue. It's a health issue. And I don't know who's making it political or why it's being made political. It is a health issue. And maybe y'all aren't at-risk people, but I know my wife is an at-risk person, and I'm concerned about that. And I certainly wouldn't put myself in a position to bring anything home to her, and I wouldn't want anybody else to either.
Madam Chair?
Oh.
I appreciate that you spoke about this. I know that if it wasn't for the mandate that was enacted with Governor Evers, I'm sure we would have approached this as a council. In fact, I know we would have approached it. So as it stands, and as you had stated, it's a resolution. We are showing support that we do know that masks make a difference. Obviously, it can't be mandated, or it's not mandated, but I have no issue whatsoever supporting that, as it is a resolution.
Madam Chair, I withdraw my second, and I
Alderman
move for
Vitale.
approval of the resolution.
How will this work?
So effectively, once it's seconded, the committee should vote on that motion. So you don't have, you can vote yes or no, no matter what you did, as far as if you moved or seconded. You're not required to vote yes or no.
Okay.
That's the beauty of debate, is you might change your mind. So because there's a pending motion with a second, I would advise the committee to actually vote on that pending motion. If it fails, another motion would be in order.
Okay.
Moved in discussion.
Mayor Devine?
Mayor Devine.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank you for hearing me. I want to remind people, in July, Goldman Sachs did a study on the impact of masks on our gross domestic product. You may be familiar with Goldman Sachs, multinational, $36 billion international company. They said a national mask mandate could raise the percentage of people wearing masks by 15 percentage points and cut the daily growth rate of cases by 1%. They translated these results into an impact on our GDP. They found that a mask mandate could substitute for lockdowns that would subtract nearly 5% from growth, about $1 trillion of our economy. There's a magazine called The Economist which took this a little further and really dove into the numbers. And one person wearing one mask, which costs 50 cents for one day, essentially contributes over $56 to our economy. And this morning, there was an article from the Federal Reserve, and the chairman said, a second wave of this virus could, quote, more significantly limit economic activity, not to mention the tragic effects on lives and well-being. Managing this risk as the expansion continues will require following medical experts' guidance, including using masks and social distancing measures. So on those facts alone, based on the economy of this community, the jobs in this community, and the small businesses in this community, I would really ask that we pass this. It's a no-brainer. It's been proven, you can find people that will say it doesn't work. I put more faith in the 97% of doctors that say it is an effective tool in battling the spread of this virus. So, thank you.
Madam Chair?
Well, thank you for your comment, as well as the other people that have commented. I certainly agree that it's really something that we should support.
Madam
Madam
Chair.
Chair.
Alderman Stefanski.
Okay, so the reason I ordered or put placed on file is because we already have a mask mandate in the state. And to me, this is kind of useless because it's not doing anything. I have a wife who's susceptible to it. I have a sister who got COVID and had it and recovered. So to me, it would be different if the mandate wasn't there. But the mandate's already there, so it's like we're wasting our time doing something that is not getting us anywhere.
Yes, but we're showing support.
So that's why I did it. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Alderman Stefanski, but in this way, I think we're showing support if we support
Alderman
it.
Ranky,
Alderman Root.
is there an end date on this? I didn't see one. And are we paralleling? The statewide one ends on the 21st of November, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay. And all we're doing is duplicating that, correct?
Technically,
It's
no.
a statement supporting the concept
Not-
of wearing
but-
masks. So there's no enforcement here, so it's not duplicating
There's no
enforcement.
enforcement.
But it's duplicating the concept of
And
suggesting
again,
masks.
and I can not just say this rhetorically, but I can prove it if anybody wants to do an email search of my emails, that when this thing was really heating up in late July and August, and it was gonna come before this council, I would say 8 out of 10 people in my district were emailing me, and I can prove it if anybody doubts me, saying, no maps. They didn't want any part of anybody telling them what to do.
I
If I
appreciate
may?
your comments. Any more
Uh,
discussion?
Same in
Sherman, I have issue with that only because we can reflect back then to where we're at right now. And as a resolution, we're just showing support of the mask. People can still make their decisions, and they still are. But I think as a city, we're making a stand. We have a health department that we're following the guidelines the best of our ability. We're giving out masks. We're suggesting, not only suggesting, we're encouraging, supplying masks for people. As a business owner, I've heard so many arguments on this, and I'm over it, to be honest with you. I don't think a resolution and saying, hey, let's protect our neighbor, let's protect each other with a mask is really creating that much of an intrusion to anybody's life, whether you like wearing a mask or not. As Mayor Devine had said, 50-cent mask does a whole lot. And you may not be a believer, but I don't see any reason that we're wasting time, in my opinion, revisiting why we should be wearing a mask. So that's
Thank you for
pretty
your
much my point.
comments, Alderman Grisham. On the vote, we're voting on the resolution that
file.
you have
If you vote no, it
indicated.
means, it goes down.
So
If you vote yes,
well,
you
we have to
approve it
vote,
place
Kale
on
has
file.
indicated we should vote on the original proposal. So the resolution, as was stated, is denied.
No.
we're
Madam
voting
Chair,
no.
Place on file.
Place on
Place
file. I'm
Now
sorry.
we vote.
If I
Place
may.
on file. It was moved and seconded to place it on file. Any more discussion?
Madam Chair, I just want to speak to this.
Alderman
because-
Tenario.
Thank you. I just want to speak to this because I do support the governor's mask mandate, and I do support this resolution. We know that COVID-19 is far more contagious and far more deadly than the flu and then the other diseases that we've seen. Over 200,000 Americans have died from this deadly disease, and we are in the midst of an unprecedented outbreak here in Wisconsin, so I do support this resolution to encourage people who live in West Allis and who go through West Allis to wear face coverings.
Thank you, Alderman Tenario. Any more discussion before we vote?
This is to place on file.
This is to place on file. All those in favor of placing it on file?
Aye.
Aye.
No,
No,
All those in favor? Two? Opposed?
no,
no.
No.
so
Good.
3.
It's,
So procedurally, it's back to the item, so another motion would be in order.
I motion to approve.
I'll
Right.
second it.
so it's been moved, okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
No.
Okay, the ayes have it. So the resolution is supported. 65, appointment of Mayor Devine of
Move
Marty
to approve.
Weigel, Safety and Development Representative. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we have 66, the appointment of Marion French
Move
as a
to
member of the
approve.
West Allis Block Committee.
I second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 67, appointment of Linda Grolke as a representative of the
Move to
medical
approve.
community
Second.
for the West Allis Board of Health. It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 68, appointment of Holly Schmidtke as a representative
Move to approve.
of the Board of Health. It's been moved and seconded.
Did we get a second?
Did we get a second?
Second.
I thought,
I did a second.
Oh, okay.
I thought he seconded. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Then we have an appointment to the Capital Improvement Parks Subcommittee of Dan Devine.
Move to approve.
Who is he? I don't know.
Dan Devine.
Can he appoint himself?
Where's that gavel?
As long as he's not making any money, he can appoint himself.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.